Hello there and welcome back to my channel. In this video I wanted to do 2 looks with the new little Rare Beauty mini eyeshadow palette that's called Sincerely Me. I thought this was such a cute little palette. I have the other eyeshadow palettes that Rare Beauty has and I wanted to give this one a try too. And I thought it would be nice to do at least 2 looks, trying to use all of the shades in the palette. You probably could do more than 2 looks, but I felt like because there's only 5 shades, I think 2 looks is pretty good with this palette. I wanted to try to use all of them. And the look that I'm wearing today is going to be the first look in the tutorial. So if you are interested in seeing how this little eyeshadow performs, then I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here. I'm going to start placing that in my crease. I have Rare Beauty's other eyeshadow palettes, and while they're not bad, they're certainly not bad eyeshadows. They were never my favorites, so when I saw she released this little mini one, I just wanted to try it out. And also I'm kind of I'll admit I'm a makeup collector, so since I have all of the other eyeshadow palettes from Rare Beauty, I wanted to pick this one up too. But I wanted to see how it performed, and I said I wanted to do at least 2 looks with this palette because there are only 5 shades. And you can do more than 2 looks with this palette. I just wanted to keep it kind of simple and at least do 2 looks using different shades each time, like not just using the same shade. This is blending out nicely. And just do the same thing on the other side. This is a pretty shade. It's like a soft cranberry color. You probably could build it up though too. I'm just trying to keep it a little bit more softer and build up as I go along. It's blending out really nicely though. Like I'm not having any issues with it. I never really had trouble with her other palettes. They just weren't my favorite when I compared them to other palettes I own. This matte shade's doing really well. And I'm going to take this brush by Sonia Kashuk and I'm going to go into this shade right here. And I'm going to put that on the inner and outer portions of my eye. Start out here. Now this is a shimmer shade. There are only 2 mattes in this palette. 2 mattes, and then 2 shimmers, and then a glitter. Actually, I like that on just the outer portion of my lid. I think I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to keep it just on this outer portion. Because I like that. I'm going to go back to that first Sonia Kashuk brush I had, and then I'm going to go right into the crease where those 2 shades meet. There's nothing on this brush, just whatever was left. So far, I'm really liking this palette. The shades blend out really nicely. They just really blend out really nice. I'm not having any issues. I'm just sad that this is a limited edition little palette. To make it permanent because it's nice so far. Okay, I'm going to go in with the shimmer shade. I'm going to take that on my finger and we're going to see how it applies by itself, just on the inner portion of my lid. I don't have anything down except for my eyeshadow primer, but I've set that, so I don't know. We'll see how well this sticks. It's a pretty glitter, but I should have worn something underneath it, because you can still see like my skin underneath it, like where I didn't have anything on my eyelids, so but that was my fault. That's not the palette's fault. I should have put something down first, but it's okay. Once I have lashes on and everything, it won't be that noticeable, but I do recommend that if you get this palette and use the glitter, put something down first, like another shade, because I can still see my eyelid skin underneath it. It kind of blended in with that darker shade I put on my outer corner, so it kind of looks like just one big shade now. Don't really like that about it, but I'm just gonna go with it. I think if I did the look over again, I would use this shade instead of the glitter, or use this first and then maybe put like a little bit of glitter on the top. But it's okay. You just try things out, see how it goes. Nothing wrong with experimenting. It's a beautiful shimmer shade. I just wish I had put something down underneath it. Or I said shimmer, I meant like glitter. It's a beautiful glitter shade. It's really pretty. But you know what? It's building up quite nicely if you tap it. Like tap some more over it, and it builds up quite nicely. That looks a lot better. But it's glitter, so it's everywhere. But I love glitter, so I'm all for it. Yeah, that looks a lot better. I don't know why I was really swiping it on in the first place. I should have just been tapping it on. But you know what? You learn. Try things out and you learn. Now I'm going to quickly finish the rest of my face, and as well as put on some false eyelashes, and then I'll be right back for us to finish up the lower lash line. Alright, to finish up the lower lash line, I'm going to go back in with this smaller Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm going to go into this shade right here, kind of on the tip of that brush. I already have some glitter on my lower lash line already, so it just kind of blends in with that. Now I will say, and I'm going to come in close to the camera after I finish up the eyes, that glitter, you definitely need either maybe a glitter glue or something underneath it, because I can see where in the creases of my eye, it's kind of bunched up in those areas, but I mean, you know, that's going to really probably be expected, but maybe like a primer or using something underneath it would help, like maybe a glitter glue. I don't know if that would work, or some type of eyeshadow primer underneath, maybe a concealer. Just, you might want to put something to prevent that from happening. And I'm going to go in with the Il Makiage and Kathleen Lights pencil. This is in the shade Far Out. It looks like that. I thought it would be perfect for this eye look. And I'm going to finish up the lower lash line with the Rare Beauty mascara, and then the eyes will be all done, and I will say what's on the rest of my face. And there is the finished eye look. You might can see what that glitter did, how it went into all my little eye creases. I'm hoping you'll be able to pick that up on camera. Now, the lashes I'm wearing are the LA Colors 3D Foaming Lashes. These are in the style Tristan. And for my face, can you believe I actually picked up a different primer that is not the e.l.f. Putty Primer. This is the Milani Skin Quench Hydrating Primer. For foundation, we're doing a throwback here. This is the CoverGirl Clean Liquid Foundation. This is in the shade Ivory in these little bottles. I picked this up this past weekend because I'd spent years since I've tried this foundation. I used to wear this in high school. For concealer, I'm wearing the Rare Beauty Concealer and the Rare Beauty Loose Powder. For bronzer, I'm wearing the Haus Labs Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in Light Level 1. And then for the lips, I'm wearing the Rare Beauty Matte Lip Liner in Gifted, and then the lipstick is also in Gifted. Now, the blush that I'm wearing is one that I'm testing out for a video that's going to go up next week. It is by LA Colors, but I'll mention that more in that video. And this is everything for look 1. Stay tuned for look number 2. Okay, before I get into look number 2 of this palette, I just quickly want to insert a clip of how that first look looked at the end of the day, because it was not good. The shimmer shade that I put on my outer corner, it faded very badly throughout the day. The glitter did not look good. It had went into all my little lines on my eyes. The matte shade looked okay. I think the matte shade did the best. And I can understand the glitter acting up because I didn't put anything underneath it. So the glitter part was probably my fault, but the shimmer shade that I used, that shade right there that I used, it wore away. It just looked so bad. It did the same thing. It went into like all the little creases on my eyelid. And I even used the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, which the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer is one of my favorites, and I've never had any trouble with it, so I don't know. But I wanted to give this palette another shot again today, because maybe it was just the glitter maybe messed everything up. I don't know. But I'm going to keep today's look simple. We're only going to be using 2 shades from this palette. This mustardy looking tone and then this shimmer shade. These are the only 2 shades that I'm going to use from this palette, and then I'll be able to see for sure if maybe just the pressed glitter messed up that whole look yesterday or what happened. We'll see how this shimmer shade performs, but right now I'm not too impressed, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk brush and I'm going to go in with, and we'll go into this shade right here and start placing that in my crease. I might have to build this shade up quite a bit, I'm not sure. I was just really disappointed to see that yesterday. Now, I will say the matte shades are nice, but there's only 2 mattes in this palette, so I just don't know yet if this palette would be really worth it or not. Now, for me, I love Rare Beauty, so I'm kind of a collector of Rare Beauty's products. I wanted this palette mostly because I have her other eyeshadow palettes, and I kind of wanted this one in my collection too. But if you're not a Rare Beauty collector, like you just don't purchase everything from the brand, then this might be a palette you want to skip. I don't know. I'm going to see how today's look goes, and maybe I should use that purple shade again some other time and without the glitter and just see how it performs. But I will be doing a clip at the end of today showing how this look wore too. I really love the color of this shade. I love these kind of yellowy mustard tones. But we're going to keep this very simple. Keep it as simple as I can just so I can see if I have problems today with what happened. Now today I used my Milani eyeshadow primer. I said I'll just switch up the primers too and just try a different one and see how that goes. But I've never had problems with that Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer, so I'm not sure exactly what happened yesterday. Kind of placing this shade on the outer portion of my lid too. I'm definitely having to build up this shade, so just be aware of that. It's a pretty shade once you get it built up, but I'm having to dip back into the pan quite a bit to get it to build up to where I want it. But I love this color. I love these mustard tones. I don't struggle at all with the matte shades in this palette. Like, they're quite nice. It's just the shimmer shade yesterday. I don't know. I feel like this brand shines everywhere else but the eyeshadow. Well, not our liquid eyeshadows. Those are nice. I don't know, this shade makes me think of summer. Like, it's just like a pretty sunshine on a warm day. Now I'm going to take this gold shimmer shade on my finger. It kind of looks like a topper shade. I want to see if this performs the same way that shade did yesterday. Whereas this feels more like a topper. I mean, well, I don't know. It's showing up pretty good. Kind of looks like a duochrome, like it's kind of shifting from like a yellowy gold to like almost like a green. It's really pretty. I'll just take that first blending brush and go around that a little bit. And if it performs well, then I want to try that purple shimmer shade again without the glitter and just see if maybe it'll look better. It could have been the glitter causing all of that yesterday, I'm not sure. It's showing up really nicely on my eyelid, but it does feel like a topper. And same thing, go around that with my blending brush. I'm going to quickly finish the rest of my face and put some false eyelashes on, and then I'll be right back to finish up the lower lash line. Okay, I'm going to take this yellow shade again on this Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. I still have some of that glitter from yesterday on my eye, even though I used micellar water and I double cleansed and everything. Still there. Then I'm going to take this ColourPop and Raw Beauty Kristi liner in the shade Marigold. Thought this shade would be really pretty with this eye look because it's like a yellowy gold shade. And I'm going to finish up the lower lash line with my Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water Mascara, and then the eyes will be all done. And there are the eyes all done. For the lashes, I'm wearing the Ioni 3D Foaming Lashes in the Natural Doll Light. They're in a packaging like that. For primer, I'm wearing both Rare Beauty's Pore Diffusing Primer and her Illuminating Primer. The Pore Diffusing one is just in my T-zone, and then the illuminating one I put on the rest of my face. For my foundation, I'm wearing the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. This is in the shade 14W. For concealer, I'm wearing the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer in the shade, I think this is 10 Pale, I believe is the shade. It's not anywhere on the thing, but I want to say it was the same as the foundation. I'm wearing the One Size Loose Powder. This is the translucent one, and then on top of that in the T-zone I'm wearing the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. And for bronzer, I'm wearing the Rimmel Radiance Brick Bronzer. This one is in the shade Light. I haven't used this one in a long time, and I found it in my collection. It's a really pretty bronzer. It's very glowy. It's beautiful. Now the blush is another one of those LA Colors blushes that I'm testing for a video next week, so stay tuned for that. Now for the lips, I'm wearing the e.l.f. Retro Paradise. Now these don't have a name to them. They come in a set, but this is what this one looks like. And I'm wearing the Milani, one of their matte lipsticks in the shade Pleasure, and it looks like that. These two are a perfect match. And that is look number 2 with this eyeshadow palette. Now I am going to film a little clip at the end of the day showing how this eyeshadow wore. I know the look yesterday it didn't wear well, so I'm hoping that this look will be better. So stay tuned for that. And here is look number 2. Okay, I will say this look turned out way better than the first look I did with this palette. I'm thinking it was the glitter shade after all that caused the problems with the first look, so I do want to try that purple shade again, and I will make it a point to leave a note in the description box or either a pinned comment updating about that purple shade, because now I'm thinking it was the glitter itself. I didn't use a glitter glue, there was no primer underneath, there wasn't even an eyeshadow underneath, so I think it definitely was me in the first look. But I don't know. I don't know how the other shimmer shade will perform on its own. I do want to give it a shot and I will update, but this look looks so much better. It didn't fade away. It didn't fade away. It didn't go into any of my fine lines or anything like that. It just looks just as pretty as it did when I first applied it. So I definitely am happy to see that, and I'm hoping that the purple shade, when I give it a second chance, I'm hoping that it'll be okay too. And there you have the 2 looks I filmed with the Rare Beauty Sincerely Me eyeshadow palettes. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I hope that you will please consider subscribing. That would mean so very much to me. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.